Česká.
Ladies and gentlemen, the President of the United States, accompanied by the President of the Republic of Azerbaijan and the Prime Minister of the Republic of Armenia.
Thank you very much. It's a great honor. Thank you. It's a long time, 35 years. They fought, and now they're friends, and they're going to be friends for a long time. But it's a big, beautiful honor to welcome everyone to the White House for this very historic peace summit between Armenia and Azerbaijan. It's really a great thrill for me. I love seeing good people get together, and that's what you have. You have two great leaders. I want to congratulate these two visionary people, Prime Minister Pashinyan and President Aliyev, for coming to Washington to sign this momentous joint declaration. It's a tremendously important document, and it's been a long time in coming. They were explaining before that so many times they thought they could get there. It never happened, just never happened. I also want to thank Secretary of State Marco Rubio, Special Envoy Steve Witkoff, and their teams at the State Department. And I see that we have Chris Wright outside and Senator Steve Daines sitting right here. Thank you, Chris. Thank you very much. And Steve. Thank you very much. And we have some other wonderful dignitaries, including the dignitaries from your country. But they provided tremendous diplomatic assistance. And Marco, congratulations. It's a big thing. Keep going. He got many jobs. And then, of course, you would say Steve was quite influential. I call him Henry Kissinger, who doesn't leak. For more than 35 years, Armenia and Azerbaijan have fought a bitter conflict that resulted in tremendous suffering for both nations. They suffered gravely for so many years. Many tried to find a resolution, including the European Union. The Russians worked very hard on it, never happened. Sleepy Joe Biden tried, but you know what happened there. He tried for probably 12 minutes and didn't work out. And many other countries tried, and they were unsuccessful. But with this accord, we've finally succeeded in making peace, and we just left the Oval Office where we signed voluminous documents and very important elements to the agreement. The country of Armenia and Azerbaijan are committing to stop all fighting forever, open up commerce, travel, and diplomatic relations, and respect each other's sovereignty and territorial integrity, so importantly. And I just spent a lot of time with these two men. I think they're going to have a great relationship. You want to know the truth? They didn't see each other that much, but they probably will. I think they're going to have. I think you two are going to have a great relationship. I have no doubt. And if you don't, call me and I'll straighten it out. Okay. Very importantly, we have also resolved the key issue that foiled previous negotiations. This declaration establishes what they are calling a great honor for me. I didn't ask for this. The Trump route for international peace and prosperity, and if which is a special transit area that will allow Azerbaijan. Very importantly, we have also resolved full access to its territory. Previous negotiations. Declaration establishes fully respecting Armenia's sovereignty. They are calling a great honor for me. I able to ask for this. Really Trump live and work together. International peace and prosperity, and which is a special transit area that will allow special territory. Very importantly, we have also resolved full access to its territory, creating an exclusive partnership with the United States to develop this corridor, which could extend for up to 99 years. Could extend. And then they promised in 99 years they'll extend it, right? And then they promised in 99 years they'll extend it, right? We anticipate significant infrastructure development by American companies. They're very anxious to go in. By American companies. They're very anxious to go in. And they're going to spend a lot of money. Countries. And a lot of money. They're going to spend a lot of money. Which will economically benefit all three of our nations. Which will economically benefit all three of our nations. This is incredibly positive news for the future of the entire region. And it's a very important region, as you know. Additionally, the U.S. is signing a bilateral agreement. The U.S. is signing a bilateral agreement
expand cooperation in energy trade and technology, including AI and technology, including AI. In terms of energy, Chris is here representing our country. Chris Wright. There's nobody better than Chris. I understand it's very fertile. And Chris, I understand it's very fertile. I appreciate very fertile everything you've done. You've done amazingly well. Everything you've done, you've done amazingly well. We've got the gasoline prices coming way down from where they were. The gasoline prices coming way down from where they were. It's really been something to watch. We are drilling like something to watch. We haven't drilled. We are drilling like many years. I guess I could say ever before, and we many years. I guess I could say ever before. We're also lifting restrictions on defense cooperation between the United States of America, the president. That's a big deal. Unless is president, that's a big deal. Unless is that important to you? They're very happy about that. So am I. As president, my highest aspiration is to bring peace and stability to the world. Is to bring peace and stability to the world. Today's signing follows our success with India and Pakistan. They were going at it. They were great. They were going at it big, and they were great. Two great leaders together just prior to what would have been a tremendous conflict,
just prior to what would have been a tremendous conflict, as you know, a nuclear conflict probably.
And Rwanda.
Also the Congo.
That was one which was going on for 31 years. You have them beat.
Which was going on for 31 years. You have them beat.
But that was going on for 31 years, and
but that was going on for 31 years, and
people are very happy. That was a rough one. It was nasty.
People are very happy. That was a rough
7
one.
million people that they know of died.
7 million people that they know of died.
Also, just recently, Thailand and Cambodia.
Also, just recently,
that was
Thailand and Cambodia.
That 2,000 people were dead on the border.
That was when it was just starting. That 2,000 people were dead on the border. but
I
it
was
was
talking
just
to one
starting.
of the two nations on
And I was
trade, and I
talking
said,
to
I'm not
one
going
of
to
the
sign
two
a trade deal
nations
if you
on
guys are
trade,
going to
and I
fight.
said, I'm not
and
going to
I got
sign
the
a
other
trade
one.
deal if you guys are going to fight.
Again,
And
great
I got the
leadership,
other one.
Thailand and Cambodia.
Again, great leadership,
Before it
Thailand
got
and Cambodia. And
started beyond that first
before it
couple of
got
days, we stopped the war.
started beyond that first couple
And
of
they've
days,
had
we
wars
stopped the war.
periodically, very much
And
as
they've
you
had
two
wars
have had
periodically, very
long-term
much as you
wars,
two have
and
had
we got it stopped.
long-term
and,
wars, and we got it stopped.
The two,
And
again, I find in all cases,
the two,
they're
again, I
great
find
leaders.
in
If
all
they didn't
cases,
agree, I would say they're
they're
lousy
great leaders.
leaders, to be
If they
honest
didn't
with you,
agree,
but
I
they
would
did
say
agree.
they're lousy leaders, to be
And,
honest with you,
so
but they did
Thailand
agree.
and Cambodia, Serbia and Kosovo,
so
we got
Thailand
something
and
stopped that
Cambodia,
was ready to
Serbia and
start.
Kosovo, we got something stopped that was ready
We
to
didn't
start.
like it
We
at
didn't
all,
like that
and
one.
we got saved a
We
lot of
didn't
lives.
like it at all, and we got
And
saved a lot
numerous
of
others,
lives.
in addition,
And
as you know, we took
numerous
out the
others,
nuclear
in addition,
capability of
as you know,
Iran.
we took out the nuclear
And,
capability of
To
Iran.
use a term that people
And to
tried
use
to
a term
dispute
that
without any
people
knowledge,
tried to
it was
dispute without any
obliterated. That's been
knowledge.
confirmed by the
It was obliterated. That's been confirmed
energy
by the
commissions,
atomic
everybody that's so totally
energy
obliterated. They might
commissions,
try again,
everybody
but they're
that's
going to
so
have to
totally
try a new
obliterated.
site.
They might try again, but they're going to have to try
I
a
want
new
to just
site.
say our military, we have the greatest military in the world.
Say our military, we have the greatest military in the world.
Military
We have the greatest
manufacturing
equipment
anywhere in the world,
military
nobody even close.
manufacturing anywhere in
And
the
that
world,
sort of
nobody
proved
even
it.
close.
So getting rid of that
And that sort of proved it.
from,
So getting rid of
the
that
Middle East
threat
was very big,
from,
and I think a lot of people are going
the
to be
Middle East
joining
was
right
very
now the
big, and I
Abraham
think a lot of
Accords.
people are going to be joining
It's gonna
right
be
now
very
the
important.
Abraham
So
Accords.
Hopefully,
Gonna
we're
be
going to have
very
many more
important. So
successes. I hope.
Hopefully, we're going to have many more
successes.
successes. I
in this
hope
field because
we're not
hopefully
going to have too many more
we're
in
not going
this
to be
field
seeing too
because
many more
hopefully
wars. But we
we're not
just
going
I
to be
came in
seeing
and
too many more
this
wars.
whole
But we
world
just
was
I
on
came in
fire.
and
All these
this
things
whole
were sort
world
of
was on
happening. We've only
fire.
been here for
All
6
these things
months.
were sort of happening.
The
We've
world
only
was
been
on
here for 6
fire. We
months.
took care of
The world was on
just about
fire.
every
We took
fire,
care
and
of
we're working on another one
just
that
about
you're
every fire, and we're
reporting
working on
very
another one that
strongly
you're
with
reporting
Russia,
on very
Ukraine.
strongly with.
And we'll have
Russia,
some more
Ukraine,
information for you
and we'll
a
have
little
some
bit
more
later.
information for you
But I want to
a little bit later.
ask these two
But
very
I want
special
to,
people. Again, I've gotten
ask
to know
these
them.
two
They're very special people. And
Again,
I
I've
think
gotten
they
to know
have
them.
the
They're very
potential
special
to have a
people.
great
I
personal
think they have the
relationship, which is
potential to
always
have a
good.
great personal
But also a
relationship,
great,
which is always good.
just relationship.
But also a great
And if I
just
might,
relationship.
may I ask you to say a few
And
words,
if I
sir?
might, may I ask you to say a few words, sir?
Thank you very much, Mr. President. First of all,
Thank you very much,
for
Mr.
invitation.
President. First
It's
of
a
all,
big
thank you
honor
for invitation.
To be
It's a
invited
big
by the
honor
President of United
to be
States
invited by the
for
President
this
of the United
historic
States
event.
for this
Actually,
historic
we are
event.
writing a new history
Actually,
in
we are
bilateral
writing a new
interstate
history
relationship
in
between
bilateral
United States and
interstate
Azerbaijan.
relationship between
We
United
are
States and
starting the
Azerbaijan.
path towards a
We are
strategic
starting the path
partnership.
towards a
The
strategic
Charter on Strategic Partnership will
The
be
Charter on
elaborated
Strategic
within
Partnership will be
several
elaborated
months,
within
and that is
several
historic
months,
achievement for
and that
Azerbaijan.
is historic
Because
achievement
to
for
be in the
Azerbaijan.
format of strategic
Because to
partnership
be in the
with
format of strategic
greatest country
partnership
of the
with
world
the greatest
is
country
a
of the
great
world
opportunity and
is
also
a
a very big
great
responsibility.
opportunity and also a very
And
big
this
responsibility.
strategic partnership format
And this
embraces
strategic
so
partnership
many
format
important areas.
embraces so many
Mutual
important
investment,
areas.
trade, energy,
Mutual investment,
connectivity,
trade,
transit,
energy,
AI,
connectivity, transit,
defense sales,
AI,
counterterrorism.
defense sales,
So all these areas
counterterrorism.
where we
So
had
all these
and
areas
hopefully will
where
have
we had
a
and
very
hopefully
active
will have
cooperation in the future.
a very
So it
active
opens a
cooperation
lot of
in the future.
opportunities for
So it
Azerbaijan
opens
to
a lot of
continue its path
opportunities
of
for
development,
Azerbaijan
to
to continue
diversify
its path
its
of
economy,
development, to diversify its
to
economy,
keep unemployment low
to
as it is today,
keep unemployment
and to
low
look
as
to the
it is
future
today, and
with
to
a
look
great
to the
optimism.
future.
Also,
with
I'm
a
very
great
grateful to Mr.
optimism.
President that
Also,
he
I'm very
today
grateful to
lifted
Mr.
the
President
restrictions
that he
which
today
been
lifted
imposed
the
on
restrictions
Azerbaijan back
which
in
been imposed
1992.
on Azerbaijan back
Just
in
only
1992.
one year after
Just
Azerbaijan
only
restored
one
its
month,
independence,
1 year after
these
Azerbaijan
restrictions have
restored its
been
independence, these
imposed on us.
restrictions have been
So after
imposed on
33
us.
years, these
So after
restrictions have been
33
lifted.
years, these
Just,
restrictions have been lifted.
Just today.
Just,
so really, it's a day
today.
which will be
So
remembered.
really, it's a day
by
which
the people
will
of
be
Azerbaijan
remembered
with
by
a
the
feeling
people of Azerbaijan
pride and
with a
gratitude
feeling of
to
pride
President Trump
and gratitude
for his
to
attitude to
President
Azerbaijan,
Trump
for his
for his
vision,
attitude to Azerbaijan, for his
not
vision,
only for our region,
for not only for
We were
region.
exchanging views today, and I said that
We were
within several
exchanging
months
views
he
today, and I
managed to put
said
an
that
end
within
to
several months he
conflicts in
managed to
Asia,
put an end
in Africa,
to conflicts
and
in
now in
Asia,
Southern
in
Caucasus.
Africa,
What we
and
could
now in
not
Southern
achieve for more than
Caucasus.
30 years,
What we could not
we had
achieve
to
for more than
sacrifice
30
lives,
years,
we had to
we had
fight
to sacrifice
two,
lives, we had to fight
very bad wars, with a lot
very
of casualties.
bad wars.
And if not
with a
for
lot of
President Trump
casualties.
and his team,
And if not for President Trump and his team,
Mr.
and our
Witkoff
great
and his
friend,
team,
Mr.
probably today
Witkoff and his
Armenia
team,
Azerbaijan would
probably
have been
today
again in
Armenia
this endless
Azerbaijan would have
process
been
of
again in
negotiation.
this endless process so of really it's a historic day. So
We are,
really it's a historic
today
day establishing peace in the Caucasus, establishing peace in the Caucasus, not only for our region, great opportunities, and as not President Trump correctly mentioned, and as President Trump correctly mentioned, international peace and prosperity, for international peace and prosperity, connectivity lines, will create new connectivity lines,
lift the walls,
which will
create
lift the walls,
connectivity opportunities for so many countries,
connectivity opportunities for so many countries,
with prosperity, with stability.
with investments, with prosperity, with
Azerbaijan
stability.
and Armenia, we became independent
Azerbaijan and
at the same
Armenia,
time,
we became
as a result of the
independent
collapse
at the
of the
same
Soviet
time,
Union.
as a
But
result
at
of the
that time
collapse of the
already,
Soviet
we
Union.
were at war.
But at that time already,
So we lost
were
a
at
lot
war.
of years.
So
just
we lost a lot of
being
years
preoccupied
just
with
being
wars
preoccupied
and occupation
with
and
wars
bloodshed.
and occupation
So today,
and
historic day,
bloodshed.
also
So
because we
today,
bring peace.
historic day,
President
also
Trump
because we bring
brings peace to
President Trump
Caucasus,
brings
and we're
peace
grateful for
to
that.
Caucasus, and we're
And
grateful for
I'm
that.
sure that Armenia and Azerbaijan
I'm sure
will
that
find
Armenia and Azerbaijan
courage and
will
responsibility
find
to
courage
reconcile.
and responsibility
And also the
to
people will
reconcile.
reconcile. We
And
will
also the
turn
people will
the
reconcile.
page of
We will
standoff,
turn
confrontation,
the
and
page
bloodshed,
of standoff,
and
confrontation,
provide
and
bright
bloodshed,
and safe future for our
and
children.
provide
So
bright and safe
I'm very
future for our
happy
children. So I'm
because
very happy
today we're writing the great new
because
history.
today
And
we're
once again,
writing
Mr.
the great
President,
new
thank
history.
you for all
And once again,
what you are
Mr.
doing
President,
for
thank you
us, for
all
our region,
what you are
and
doing
for
for
the whole
us,
world.
for our region, and for the whole world.
Great leaders, how long have you been at?
Great leaders, how
in the
long have
leadership
you
position?
been at, in the leadership
22
position?
years.
22 years, that's pretty good.
22
That means he's
years.
tough
22
and smart.
That means
And
he's
it's,
tough and smart.
An amazing part of the
And
world.
it's
Congratulations.
an amazing
What a
part of
great
the
honor to
world.
be involved.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
What a great honor to be involved.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. President, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you, Mr.
Today
President,
we have
ladies and gentlemen.
reached a
Today
significant
we have
milestone
reached
in
a
Armenia-Azerbaijan
significant
relations.
milestone in
We're
Armenia-Azerbaijan
laying a
relations.
foundation to write
We're
a
laying
better
a
story
foundation
than
to
the
write
one
a
we
better
had in
story
the past.
than the one we
This
had
breakthrough
in the
would
past.
be simply
This
not
breakthrough would
have
be
been
simply
possible
not
without President
have been
Trump's personal
possible without
engagement
President Trump's
and his
personal
resolute
engagement
commitment to
and
peace
his
in our
resolute
region.
commitment to peace
The
in our region.
initialing of peace
The
agreement will
initialing
pave the
of
way
peace
to
agreement
end the
will pave
decades
the
of
way
conflict
to end
between
the
our
decades
countries
of conflict
and
between
open
our
a
countries
new era based
and
on the full
open a
respect
new
for
era
the
based on the
sovereignty
full
and
respect for
territorial
the sovereignty
integrity
and
of each other.
territorial integrity of each other.
Today's
Today's
declarations
Today's
which,
declarations,
President Trump
which
personally will
President
sign as well
Trump
as
personally will sign as well
witness
as witness,
gives confidence and assurance
gives
that
confidence
we're opening a
and
chapter
assurance
of
that
peace,
we're opening
prosperity,
a chapter
security,
of peace,
and
prosperity,
economic
security,
cooperation in
and
the South
economic
Caucasus.
cooperation in the South Caucasus.
Allow me to
In
highlight
this
the
context, allow me to
agreement on
highlight
opening
the
transport
agreement on
communications
opening
in the
transport
region based on the
communications
principles
in the
of
region
sovereignty,
based on the
territorial
principles of
integrity and
sovereignty,
jurisdiction.
territorial
I'm
integrity and
particularly
jurisdiction.
thrilled that
I'm
together with the
particularly
U.S., Armenia
thrilled
will
that
work
together
to
with the
bring
U.S.,
to life
Armenia
the
will
trip
work to bring
Trump wrote
to life
for
the
peace
trip
and
Trump
prosperity,
wrote for
a
peace and
connectivity project that
prosperity,
will
a
unlock
connectivity
the
project
entire
that
region.
will unlock
Trip will
the entire
unlock
region.
strategic
Trip will
economic
unlock
opportunities that will
strategic economic
create long-term
opportunities that
benefits.
will create
It will
long-term
promote
benefits.
infrastructure
It will
investment,
promote
enhanced regional
infrastructure investment,
connectivity,
enhanced
and
regional
strengthen
connectivity, and strengthen
U.S. leadership as a champion of
U.S. leadership
conflict
as a
resolution.
champion of
I want to
conflict
thank President
resolution.
Trump and
I
his
want to
team
thank
for
President
brokering
Trump
this
and his team
game-changing
for
outcome
brokering
between
this
Armenia and
game-changing
Azerbaijan.
outcome
This is a
between
great
Armenia
deal
and Azerbaijan.
we've achieved
This is a
today.
great deal
This is a
we've
success
achieved
for
today.
our countries
This is a success
and
for our countries
region.
and
the success for
our
the
region.
world, because
And
a
the
more
success for
peaceful
the
region
world, because
means
a more
safer
peaceful
world.
region
This is
means
peace
a
through
safer world.
strength in a
This is peace
neutral.
through strength in a
Mr. President,
neutral. Mr.
Today's
President,
great achievement is yet another
today's great
testimony to
achievement
your
is yet
global
another
leadership
testimony to
and
your
your
global
legacy
leadership
as a statesman
and your
and
legacy as a statesman
peacemaker on
and
the
a
world stage.
peacemaker
Bringing
on the
peace
world
required
stage. Bringing
vision,
peace required
political
vision,
courage and determination.
political courage
But what
and
is most
determination.
important
But
is that
what is most important is that
faith in
it
the cause.
requires
As
faith
it is
in
said
the
in the
cause.
Holy Bible,
As it is said
blessed
in the
are
Holy
the
Bible,
peacemakers,
blessed
for
are
they
the
will
peacemakers,
call children
for
of
they
God.
will call
May God
children of God.
enlighten this way.
May God
Thank you.
enlighten
and
this way.
My
Thank
congratulations
you, and
to all of us.
my congratulations to all of us, President
to all of
Aliyev,
us,
to you,
colleagues
to all of
from
us,
Azerbaijan,
colleagues
Armenia,
from
United States,
Azerbaijan,
and,
Armenia, United States, and
all the people of our region, all the people
of our
countries,
region,
and
all the people of
my
our
congratulations
countries, and
to the
my
world,
congratulations
because, as I
to
said,
the
it will
world, because,
definitely
as I said, it
make
will definitely
world a better
make
place. Thank you.
world a better place. Thank you.
President of the United States, the President of the Republic of Azerbaijan,
and the Prime Minister of the Republic of Armenia will now sign a joint declaration on the outcomes of the Trump Route for International Peace and Prosperity Summit.
That's
The President
really
of the
Sign
United
3 copies in
States
English.
signs as a
The
witness
President
to the
of the United
President of the
States
Republic of
signs as a
Azerbaijan
witness to the
and the
President
Prime
of the
Minister
Republic of Azerbaijan
Armenia,
and the Prime Minister of the Republic of Armenia,
stability, and
affirming the
prosperity.
path to peace,
We kindly
stability,
ask that
and
all guests
prosperity.
remain seated for
We
the
kindly
signing of the
ask that all
documents.
guests remain seated for the signing of the documents.
That is so great, and we'll hold up, how
That
about
is so
holding up
great,
that document?
and we'll hold up, how about holding up that document?
Well, thank you. This is really a big day, and we have
Well,
some
thank
other
you.
big
This is really a
announcements,
big
but I
day,
didn't
and
want to
we have
make
some
them
other
because I
big
don't want to do
announcements,
anything
but I
that
didn't want to make them because I don't want to
in a
do
little way
anything that
overshadow
could
what's
even,
taken place today.
in a little way
35 years
overshadow
of,
what's taken place
death
today.
and
35
hatred,
years of
and now it's
death
going to be
and
love and
hatred,
respect
and
and
now it's
success
going to be
together.
love and respect
And
and
I
success
didn't really
together.
want to do anything that
And
would
I didn't really want to
in any
do
way
anything
overshadow.
that
I don't
would,
think it can be overshadowed.
in any way overshadowed. I don't think it can be
And so many
overshadowed.
people have suffered,
When
and so
you're
many
at
people
war
have been
and so many
killed.
people have suffered and so
And now
many
you're going to
people
have
have been
great peace.
killed.
And I look forward to that
And now you're
card
going to
up
have
because
great
that card
peace.
is
And
out.
I
So I'm
look
going to have to
forward to
get
that
over
card
there.
up because that
I'll
card
bring
is out.
Senator
So I'm going to have
Daines
to get
with
over
me.
there. I'll bring
And
Senator
we're going to have
Daines
to
with
get over
me.
this, Steve. So,
And
but this
we're
is
going to
a
have to get over
really
this, Steve. So,
great
but this is a
achievement,
really
and I
great
congratulate you.
achievement,
Two
and I
incredible
congratulate
leaders. You're
you.
going to go down in history.
Incredible
And I've
leaders. You're
read
going to go
the
down in
whole
history.
thing about
And
how
I've read
long
the
it
whole
took, and
thing about how
you thought you were
long it
there,
took,
and people let you down, and
you thought you were
sometimes
there,
you
and
probably
people let you
people
down,
Maybe
and
I don't know
sometimes
how
you
it
probably
works, but
let
that's the
people
way it
down.
usually
Maybe I
does.
don't know
But
how it works,
this is
but that's the way
something
it
that is
usually does.
very,
but
very special.
This is
So
something that
I don't
is
want to get in
very,
the way
very
of it at
special.
all,
So
but we'll take a few
I don't want to get in
questions,
the way
maybe,
of it at all, but we'll take a few
at least
questions,
slightly
maybe
related, but we have
at least
some other
slightly
things to
related,
announce
but
later on in the day.
we
Peter,
have some
please.
other things to announce later on in
Related
the
just
day.
because you
Please.
mentioned the elusive
Related just because you
peace in
mentioned
Ukraine.
the elusive
Who is
peace
holding
in
up
Ukraine.
this Ukraine
Who is holding
ceasefire
up
summit?
this
Is it
Ukraine
Putin or is it
ceasefire
Zelensky?
summit? Is it
Well, I think
Putin or
it's
is it
that one
Zelensky?
is, as
Well,
you
I
know, we've
think
been
it's
working on
that one is,
a
as
lot
you
of
know,
these
we've been
deals.
working
We've
on
closed every single one
a
of
lot
them
of these
all
deals.
throughout
We've
the world.
closed every single
That's
one
the
of them
last of
all
them.
throughout the world,
And they're
that's the
losing,
last
Peter,
of them.
about
And they're
6,
losing,
maybe even
Peter, about
7,000
6, maybe even
soldiers every single
7,000
week.
soldiers
Russia,
every
as you know,
single
lost
week.
almost 25,000
Russia,
over
as
the
you know,
last
lost
month and a half.
almost
and,
25,000 over the
Ukraine
last month and a half, and Ukraine lost
just a small number fewer. A lot of
just a
people
small
are dying.
number fewer.
And
It's
I
a
think
lot
we're
of
getting very
people are
close.
dying. And I think we're getting very close.
We're going to have a meeting.
We're going to be announcing later on, we're going to have a meeting.
Start off with Russia.
Russia.
And we'll announce a location. I think the location will be a very
I think the location will be
popular
a
one
very
for a lot of reasons. But we'll be
one for a
announcing
lot
that a
of
little bit
reasons.
later. I just don't want to
But
do
we'll
it
be
now
announcing
because
that a
of
little
the
bit later. I
importance
just
of what
don't
we
want to
just
do it
did.
now because of the importance of what we
Administration,
just
a
did.
follow-up. Are you surprised that Zelensky hasn't figured out by now, in years of war, how to deal with Putin without needing permission to make concessions from his parliament or from a national referendum?
What he needs,
Going out and getting
authorized to
what
do
he
certain
needs,
things. I
he's
said,
not
well,
authorized to do certain
we're going to
things.
have to
I
get it
said,
fast
well,
because we're getting very
you're going to have
close
to
to a
get it
deal.
fast because
And
we're
he's
getting
doing
very
that, and
close
he's
to a
working
deal.
with the European nations.
And he's doing that, and he's
terrific
working with the
people, terrific
European
leaders,
nations
NATO.
and the terrific
And
people,
as you know, I
terrific
became
leaders,
very
NATO.
friendly with them. They agreed
And
to
as
go
you know, I
from
became
2%
very
to
friendly with them.
5%.
They agreed to go from 2% to 5%.
5% that they've already
2%
paid.
that they didn't pay to
That's
5% that
trillions
they've
of
already
dollars.
paid.
So,
That's
we're working
trillions of
together very
dollars.
closely.
So,
But no,
we're working
in
together
all
very
fairness
closely. But
to,
no, in
President
all
Zelensky,
fairness
he's
to
getting everything he
President
needs
Zelensky, he's
to
getting
assuming
everything
we
he
get
needs
something done.
to
But I'll be
assuming we get
meeting,
something done. But
very
I'll be
shortly
meeting
with President Putin.
very
It would have been
shortly
sooner,
with
but I guess
President
there's
Putin.
security
It would have
arrangements
been
that
sooner, but I guess there's
unfortunately
security
people have to
arrangements
make.
that
Otherwise, I'd
unfortunately
do it
people
much
have to
quicker.
make.
He would too. He'd like to
do it
meet
much quicker.
as soon as
He
possible.
would
I
too.
agree
He'd
with
like to
it.
meet
But
as
we'll
soon
be
as
announcing that
possible. I
very
agree with
shortly.
it.
Okay?
But we'll be
And
announcing
location.
that very shortly.
Yeah,
And
please.
location.
Please.
Yeah, please.
Mr. President,
please.
with this meeting with
Mr.
Putin,
President,
is this
with
Russia's
this meeting
last
with
chance
Putin,
to
is
achieve
this
peace?
Russia's
And
last
do you
chance
expect
to
Ukraine
achieve
to make
peace?
any type of
And do you
territorial
expect
concession?
Ukraine to
I
make
don't like
any
using
type
the
of
term
territorial
last chance.
concession?
Look,
Yeah,
it's,
I don't like
you
using
know,
the term last chance.
Look, this
Look,
is
it's,
two
you know,
very, very smart
look, this
people.
is
They've been
two
going
very,
at it
very
for,
smart people.
and their
They've been
predecessors also
going at
very
it
smart.
and their
they've been going
predecessors
at it for
also very
35
smart.
years. It's tough.
They've been
And,
going
you
at
know,
it for
when those
35
guns start
years.
going
It's
off,
tough.
it's awfully
And,
tough
you know,
to
when those guns
get 'em
start
to
going
stop.
off, it's awfully tough
It really
to
does. It's
get
a
'em
war
to
that should have
stop.
never happened. It would
It
have
really
never
does.
happened.
It's a
if I
war
were
that should have
president.
never
There was no
happened. It would have
reason
never
for it.
happened if I were
So many
president.
people
There
are
was no
killed, so
reason
much
for it. So many people are
cultural
killed, so much
destruction. You look at
cultural destruction. The towers, the most beautiful in the world. You know, the magnificent towers, the most beautiful in the world. You know, the spires were considered the most beautiful in the world. They're all laying on the ground. They're all in a million pieces, laying on the ground, all obliterated, knocked into a million pieces. So sad.
Millions of people have died.
Millions of people have died.
Very much set in their ways. A lot of people
very
were
much
set in their ways. But I think we're getting close. I mean, this was not my war. This was Biden's war.
This was not my war. This was
the
Biden's
European
war.
Union has been great. As you know, they're
The
purchasing
European
equipment
Union has
from
been
us.
great.
They're
As you know,
spending
they're
they have a lot of
purchasing
money.
equipment from us.
And
They're spending
a lot of money on buying equipment.
And
We're not
they're spending a lot of money on buying
but we are
equipment.
supplying
We're
them
not spending
equipment. They're
money.
paying for it.
But we are supplying them equipment. They're paying for it. And I think
a lot of
I
things
think
happened
that
recently that would make this
a lot of things happened
go
recently
forward.
that would make
I'm
this
not going to mention
go forward.
anything having to
I'm
do
not
with
going to
India, but
mention
maybe that had an
anything
impact.
having to do with
What
India,
really
but
had an
maybe that had an
was,
impact. But what
NATO
really had an
stepped up
impact was
in terms of their
NATO
spending
stepped up
on
in
buying
terms of
military
their spending
equipment.
on
You know, we're in
buying
for
military equipment.
Probably
we're in
through
for
Biden and his people,
probably through Biden and his people,
$350 billion. When they hear these numbers, you're saying that's a lot of money.
When they hear these numbers, you're saying it's a lot of money.
The United States has
$350 billion.
spent on that. It should have spent nothing because it should have never happened. Would have never happened.
Nothing because it should have never
Europe is
happened. Would
in
have
for
never happened.
over $100 billion.
Europe is in for over $100 billion, which is it should be the opposite.
But it should be the opposite.
If we were in for anything, but it should be the opposite. And I will say that
Europe wants to see peace. The European leaders want to see peace.
The European leaders want to see peace. President Putin, I believe, wants to see peace. And President Zelensky has to get all of his. President Zelensky has to get all of his
everything he needs because he's going to have to get ready to sign something. And I think he is
get ready to sign something. And I think he is working hard to get that done.
Well, you're looking at territory that's been
fought over for 3.5 years with a lot of Russians have died, a lot of Ukrainians have died.
So we're looking at that, but we're actually looking to get some back.
But we're actually looking to get some back.
Some swapping. It's complicated. It's actually
some swapping.
Nothing easy.
Complicated.
It's very complicated, but
nothing easy.
We're going to get
it's
some
very
back.
complicated.
We're going to get some.
We're going to get some back. We're going to get
some switched. There'll be some swapping of territories.
Some switched. There'll be some swapping of territories.
And, but we'll be talking about that either later or tomorrow or whatever.
We'll be talking about that either later or tomorrow or whatever. Yeah,
Say it.
please.
If I could ask a question of your guests and also
Say
of you.
it.
If I could ask a question of your guests and also of you. Will the Armenians from Nagorno-Karabakh be allowed to return? And also, do you have any thoughts on the talk about President Trump winning the Nobel Peace Prize?
President Trump winning the Nobel Peace Prize?
You're working on resolving two other major conflicts.
You're working on resolving two other major conflicts. In Gaza, you've spoken of resettling Gazans. The country of Somaliland has expressed potential interest if you were to diplomatically recognize their independence. Are you inclined to do so? And also, did President Putin present an award to Mr. Witkoff?
He likes Mr. Witkoff, I can tell you that.
He likes
That's
Mr.
true.
Witkoff,
Please,
I
go
can
ahead.
tell you that. That's true. Please, go ahead.
I think President Trump deserved to
deserved
have Nobel Peace Prize.
have a Nobel Peace Prize.
We will defend that, and
We
we will promote. We will
defend that, and we promote.
that,
We will promote
and that's
for
obvious.
that, and
So-
that's
And
obvious.
today's event,
So-
I think, is a
And
very
today's
bright
event, I think, is a
expression
very
of
bright
that.
expression
And
of that.
hopefully,
And
you will invite us.
hopefully, you will invite us.
Front row, you'll be front row.
Yeah.
Front row, you'll be front row.
We are in favor.
Yeah,
Thank you.
we are in favor.
Thank you. Thank
Can I
you.
have a suggestion?
Yes.
So maybe we agree with Prime Minister Pashinyan.
Maybe we agree
Send
with
a
Prime
joint
Minister
appeal
Pashinyan
to Nobel
to send a
Committee
joint appeal
to
Nobel
award
Committee
President Trump with the Nobel Peace
to
Prize
award
because
President Trump with the Nobel Peace Prize because
from the leaders of the countries which were at war
from the leaders of the countries which were at war
having
for
this
more than 3
historic
decades,
signature
having this
here,
historic
it really
signature
means
here,
a lot. This
it
is
really
tangible
means a
result
lot.
of President
This
Trump's
is tangible
leadership.
result of President
And no
Trump's
one could have
leadership.
achieved that.
And no
There have
one
been many
could have
presidents
achieved that.
here
There have been many presidents
since beginning
here
of 90s.
since
And the
beginning of
so-called
90s.
Minsk process,
And the so-called
which, by
Minsk
the way,
process,
today we put an end
which,
to
by the
with
way,
my
today
Armenian
we put an
colleague,
end to
started in
with my
1992.
Armenian colleague.
So
Started in
negotiation under
1992.
the auspices of
So negotiation
OSCE
under the auspices
continued
of OSCE
for more than 3
continued
decades without any
for more than
result.
3 decades
So who,
without
if not
any
President
result.
Trump, deserves
So who,
the
if
Nobel
not
Peace
President
Prize? I don't
Trump,
want to
deserves
go
the Nobel
into
Peace
the
Prize? I
history
don't want to go
of some very
into the
strange
history
decisions
of some
of the
very
Nobel
strange
Peace Committee
decisions
to
of the
award
Nobel
the prize for
Peace
someone
Committee
who
to
didn't do
award
anything
the
at
prize
all.
for someone who didn't do
But President
anything
Trump
at
in
all.
6 months.
But
did
President Trump in
miracle.
6 months
So I think that
did
my Armenian
miracle.
colleague
So I think that
support it,
my
and
Armenian colleague
judging
will
by the
support it,
reaction of the
and
audience,
judging
I
by
think as
the
soon as we
reaction
come
of
back,
the
we
audience,
will
I think as soon as we
agree to
come
issue
back,
a
we
joint
will
letter.
agree to
And
issue a
hopefully, and I
joint
also
letter.
join when
And hopefully, and I
President is
also
awarded.
join when
We hope that he will
President is
invite
awarded.
us
We hope
to
that
the
he will
ceremony.
We certainly
invite
will
us
be. Thank you very
to the
much.
ceremony.
You
Do we
certainly will
have
be.
draft
Thank you
to
very much.
sign
Do
now?
we have draft to sign now?
We'll see what
We
happens.
already like to sign.
Well, we'll see what happens.
Thank you very much. It's very nice.
Thank you very much. It's very nice.
We're looking into that right now. Good question, actually.
We're
and,
looking into that
another
right now. Good
complex
question,
one, as you
actually.
know.
And
But we're
another
working on that
complex
right
one,
now.
as you know. But we're working on that right now.
Thank you so much. I wanted to ask you, have you spoken
Thank
to
you so much. I wanted
Russian
to ask you,
President
have you
Putin yet, and would you go
spoken
to
to
Russia
Russian
or
President Putin
Ukraine?
yet, and would you
What
go
exactly
to
would you
Russia
say?
We'll be
or
announcing
Ukraine?
the
And
location.
what exactly would you say?
We'll be
maybe
announcing
a
the
little while,
location
and,
in maybe
I
a
think
little
you'll be
while.
very happy.
And
We'll see what
I think
happens.
you'll be very
right?
happy.
All we can do is
we'll see what
do our
happens,
best.
right? All we
We've been
can do
working on
is
this one
do
for a
our
long
best.
time. This is a very
We've been working
complicated
on this
one
one for a
also.
long
This
time.
was
This is a very
extremely
complicated one also.
complicated,
This
but
was
we made it less
extremely complicated, but we
and
made
we had
it
two
less
very
complicated.
brilliant people
And we
on
had
my
two
right
very
and my left. They
brilliant
understood
people on
what
my
was
right
at
and my
stake.
left. They
I think if
understood
it didn't get done
what
now,
was
it
at
might have
stake.
never
I
gotten
think
done.
if it didn't get done now, it
So
might have
this
never
is to
gotten
say,
done.
very similar with Ukraine.
So
It
this
became
is to
more and
say
more
very similar with
complicated as time
Ukraine.
went on.
It
was
became
simple
more and
at the
more
beginning.
complicated as time went
Wasn't
on.
gonna
It was
happen.
simple at the beginning.
But it became more and more
Wasn't gonna happen.
complicated. But I
But
think
it
we're getting
became more
close.
and more
Yes, ma'am.
complicated. But I think we're getting close. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, go ahead, please.
Could the location
Yes, go ahead.
for the summit be
The
Italy?
location for the summit be Italy.
I will give it to you very soon. I just honestly, I don't
will
want to
give
do
it to you very
anything.
soon. I
These
just
guys,
honestly, I don't want to
I
do
don't want to do
anything.
anything
These
where
guys.
that's like
I don't want to do anything where that's like, because this is a bigger story than a location. A location's good. I'm a real estate person. I know about location. But there's nothing to compete with this in terms of
it's just
what
such
we're
a
doing
great
today.
achievement for these two.
It's just such a great
Really, they'll go down as great leaders for what they did. I put
Really,
them
they'll go
together.
down as great leaders for what they did. I put them together, but
and I don't want to do anything. So we'll talk about it later.
And I don't want to do anything. So we'll talk about it later.
Today,
we'll give you a location today.
We're talking about sending military forces to fight against the drug
military
cartels in
forces
Latin America.
to fight against the drug cartels in Latin America. Do you think it's worth sending our forces or U.S. forces there to take this on?
Cartels where?
Well, Latin America's got a lot of cartels.
Latin America's got a lot of cartels. They've got a lot of drugs flowing.
Protect our country. We have to protect our country. We haven't been doing it for 4 years.
We have to protect our country. We haven't been doing it for 4 years.
We love this country like they love their countries. We have to protect our country
like they love their countries. We have to protect our country.
We're playing a tough game,
so,
but we'll have more to say about that soon. Yes, ma'am.
But we'll have more to say about that soon. Yes, ma'am.
from Azerbaijan News Agency report.
President Musala
So
from
we are
Azerbaijan News
grateful to be
Agency
here.
report.
It's today
So we are
you
grateful
host
to be
a
here.
truly
It's
historic
today
meeting.
you host
As
a
a
truly
person who
historic
values
meeting.
diplomacy and global
As a
interaction,
person
do
who
you
values
consider
diplomacy and
the
global
possibility
interaction,
to visiting
do you
Azerbaijan?
consider
Actually, you
the
mentioned
possibility to visiting Azerbaijan? Actually, you
this
mentioned
meeting.
Azerbaijan and Armenia after this meeting.
Our countries, do you consider? To visit our countries, do you consider?
Which one do I consider better?
Which one do I consider better?
Yes.
I think if I ever said that you would say this guy couldn't have solved the problem.
You would say this guy couldn't have solved the problem. You know what? I consider them both great.
And you know what? They're going to be even greater. But
and you know what? They're going to be even greater.
But they have a lot in common.
They're very different in many ways, but they have a lot in common.
Yeah, please.
But they're both great.
It's an interesting question,
Yeah,
right?
please.
That would have been a hell of an answer.
It's an interesting question, right? That would have been a hell of an answer.
I think I like this one or that one.
I think I like this one or that one. No, we don't do that. Go ahead, please.
Mr. President, first of all, thank you for
Mr. President, first of all,
bringing
thank
peace to
you
South Caucasus
for
is something that
bringing
no one
peace to South
has been
Caucasus
able
is something
to
that
achieve
no
in
one
35
has been
years.
able to
That's
achieve
number
in
one.
35
we
years.
also noticed
That's
that you
number
think
one.
highly
We
of the
also
commitments
noticed
that
that
the
you think
sides have
highly of
taken
the
on and
commitments
assumed.
that the sides have taken on and
Considering
assumed.
the long history of conflict
considering
and
the long
fact that this
history
is
of
not a legally
conflict and
binding
the fact
document,
that
will
this
there
is
be
not a legally
consequences
binding
if at
document,
some
will there be
point one of the
consequences
sides
if at
takes
some
a step
point
back?
one of the sides takes
I don't
a
think
step
it's going to
back?
happen. I think it's going to be
I don't think
very
it's going to happen.
good. And I told him, I gave him a personal commitment.
And I told him, I gave him a personal commitment. If there's, you know, there's always
right? The big ones have been solved. These
here
are
and
the
there.
giant
The
ones.
big ones have been solved. These
but
are
if there's
the
conflict,
giant
they
ones
both
have been
know they're
solved.
going to call me. And
But
we're
if
going to
there's
get it straightened
conflict, they
out.
both
They're not
know
going
they're
to
going to
have a
call
problem.
me and we're going to get it
Where are you
straightened
from?
out. They're not going to have a problem.
Okay,
Where are you
good.
from?
Very good. I was wondering. It was a
Okay,
very
good,
unusual
very good.
question.
I was wondering. It
But
was
it's
a very
not
unusual
unusual considering
question.
you're from Armenia.
But it's not
If there's a
unusual
problem, we will
considering
get
you're
it worked
from
out. I told
Armenia.
them
If
both.
there's a problem, we will get it
Don't let
worked
the
out. I told
problem
them
last.
both.
We get it early.
Don't
and
let the
we'll get it-
problem last.
We'll
We
get
get it
solved.
early and we'll
Good
get
reporter
it.
you have over
We'll get
there.
it solved. Good reporter you have over there.
Okay. Please.
Okay.
Can I
Yes, please.
First of all, I'd like to say that today,
First of all, I'd like to say that today
initial the
we
peace deal, which was in the process of negotiations for quite a while.
negotiations
The
for
fact that it
quite
is
a while.
initialed here,
The fact that
in
it is
the capital
initialed
number
here,
one of the world,
in the capital
in
number
the
one
office
of the
number
world,
one of the world,
in the office
and
number one
in front
of the
of the
world,
great
and
president of the
in front
United
of the
States, means
great
that there
president
should
of
be
the
no
United
doubt
States
and no
means that there should be no doubt
that any of the
and no
sides would step
suspicious
back.
that any of the sides would
any
step
of
back.
us,
If
Prime
some
Minister
of, if
Pashinyan
any
or
of
myself,
us,
had
Prime
in
Minister
mind
Pashinyan
to
or
step back, we wouldn't
myself,
have
had in
come
mind
So you can
to
be
step back, we
absolutely
wouldn't have
sure,
come here.
as well
So
as
you can be
Azerbaijani
absolutely sure,
community, that
as well
what
as
has
Azerbaijani
happened
community,
today
that
will
what has
result
happened
in
today
peace,
will
long-lasting
result
peace,
in peace,
eternal peace
long-lasting
in the
peace,
Caucasus.
eternal
That's a
peace.
very nice statement.
I'm sorry.
That's a very nice statement.
I'm sorry. Fully agree and not
I'm sorry. Fully agree and not
It's
concur.
very nice two statements, and
That's a very nice two statements, and that's a beautifully
statement. Let's go.
stated.
A couple of more. Yeah,
statement.
please.
Let's go. A couple of more. Yeah,
South
please.
Caucasus have pinned the blame on your
Caucasus
predecessor
have
Joe
pinned the
Biden
blame
and Secretary of
on
State
your predecessor
Antony
Joe
Blinken
Biden and
for
Secretary of State
obstacles
Antony Blinken
in
for
America's bilateral
obstacles
relations with
in
Azerbaijan
America's
and peace in that
bilateral
part of the
relations
world.
with
How
Azerbaijan and
important is
peace
it
in
to
that
you
part of the
to
world.
elevate
How important is
it to you to elevate
your administration's
your country's
partnership with Azerbaijan,
your
with
administration's
Armenia,
partnership
and how
with
important is this for your
Azerbaijan, with
legacy?
Armenia, and how
Well,
important is
to
this
me,
for
it's
your
very
legacy?
important, but it's, you know,
Well, to me, it's very
I know the
important, but
history
it's,
of what was going on because
I know the history
do a lot
of
of
what was
reading,
going on
and
because
they've
I
been a
do a lot of
vicious,
reading,
you know,
and
they've had a very
vicious,
contentious
they've had a
relationship
very
for a long time.
contentious relationship for a long time.
Was war.
I mean, it's war.
And
Most
so
of the time was war.
To get it done, they're great people.
And so
I know
to get
a
it
lot of
done,
people
they're
from
great people.
Armenia, I know a lot of people from both countries.
Armenia, I
and
know a lot of people
they're
from
incredible
both
people,
countries.
and it shouldn't happen.
They're incredible
what has
people, and
happened.
it
I wish
shouldn't happen.
we could have been here sooner.
I
You know,
wish
if,
we could have been here
the
sooner.
election
you
were
know,
different. I'm going to be nice today. I'm not going to be
the election
controversial
were
and say
different. I'm
the
going to be
election
nice
was
today. I'm not
rigged.
going
I
to be
would have had this
controversial
thing
and say
solved
the
4 years
election was
sooner.
rigged. I would have had
But
this
the
thing
truth is
solved
that's
4
right.
years sooner.
If the election
But the
weren't
truth is
rigged,
that's right.
I would have
If
been
the
here 4
election
years
weren't
sooner. We
rigged,
would have signed the same
I would have been
agreement
here
4 years sooner.
We would have signed the
But
same
it didn't
agreement 4 years
happen,
sooner.
and, the
But
Biden
it didn't
administration
happen,
did really
and,
very little,
the Biden
actually nothing
administration
to get
did
it
really
done.
very little, actually
But they
nothing
did
to get it
nothing to
done.
get really anything
But they
done. It
did
was
nothing
very,
to
this
get
country
really
was in
anything done. It was
very serious
this
shape.
country
And I
was
say it
in
over and over again. I
very
met all
serious
the
shape. And I
leaders of
say it
NATO.
over and over again. I met all the
went,
leaders
as you know,
of
the
NATO.
Middle East. I was with the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, the
Middle East. I was
leaders
with the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, the leaders
great
of
countries, right? Qatar and
great countries,
UAE
Qatar,
and others in the Middle East.
UAE and others.
Everyone essentially said the same thing. We had a dead
Everyone
country.
essentially said the same thing.
1 year ago,
we had a dead country.
Our country was
1 year
dying.
ago, we had a dead country.
And now we have
Our
the
country
hottest
was
country
dying.
anywhere in the world.
And
It's
now
not
we have
even
the
close.
hottest
We have the
country
hottest
anywhere in the
country
world. It's not even close. We have the hottest country in the world.
And it's an honor to use that.
And
if
it's
you
an
call it
honor to
power or
use
respect
that.
or whatever it is
If you
to
call
settle
it power or respect or whatever it
wars
is
like
to settle.
we have right here to my left and my
wars
right.
like
And
we have
these
right
two
here
guys
to
are
my
very
left and my
smart.
right.
I got to
And
know them, and
these
they're
two
very
guys are
smart.
very
They're not
smart.
gonna, I don't
I
think
got to
they're
know
going to
them,
ever
and
have
they're
to
very
bother
smart.
with
They're
me.
not
And they
gonna.
may
I don't
call me
think they're
just to
going to
bug
ever
me a
have to
little
bother
bit.
with me. They may call
Let
me
me
just
put
to
them to
bug
a
me a
test
little
and
bit.
they'll call because they
Let me
like to
put them
call
to a
me.
test and they'll call
But they're not going to have
because
any
they like to
problem.
call
We
me.
have a very
But they're
comprehensive
not going to have any
agreement. It's a
problem.
peace
We have a
agreement.
very comprehensive
And
agreement.
this isn't
It's a peace
ceasefire.
agreement.
This isn't we'll
And
hold
this isn't
up. This is a peace
ceasefire.
agreement.
This isn't we'll
And
hold up.
they're
This
going
is
to
a
end up
peace
doing a lot of
agreement.
business with each other.
And
They're going to do a lot of
doing a lot of business with each other. They're going to do a lot of business with the United States.
At least during
I'm
the
going to
time
always
that I'm
remember,
here,
at least during
I'm going to remember
the
how
time
smart
that
they
I'm
were, how
here.
good they were.
I'm going to remember
And
how
when it
smart
comes
they
to
were, how
trade
good
and
they
other
were.
things, we're going to always
And when
go
it comes to trade and other things, we're going to always
100%
go
out. We'll go out of our way to make sure it comes
100%
out good
out.
for them.
We'll go out
They
of our
did
way to make sure it comes
an
out good for them.
amazingly
They did
good thing and a very brave
an
thing.
amazingly good thing and a very brave thing.
Complicated part of the world they
It's a
come from. Very
very
tough
complicated part of the world they come from. Very
tough
tough part of the world. It's a
but smart part of the world. Smart, tough
smart
people.
part of the world.
And great
Smart,
wealth,
tough
you know,
people.
great energy wealth. I was
And
talking
great
to
wealth,
Chris,
you
and you
know,
were
great
saying,
energy wealth. I was
in
talking
terms
to
of
Chris,
wealth,
and you were
it's
saying,
enormous
in
wealth.
terms of wealth, it's
But wealth
enormous
doesn't
wealth.
often solve
But wealth
problems.
doesn't
Takes
often
other
solve
things. But they
problems.
were
Takes other
they're
things,
amazing,
but they were
two amazing leaders, and it's an honor to be
two
associated
amazing
with
leaders,
them.
and it's an honor to be associated with them. How about we'll do one more,
gut
please?
instincts have always done well in terms of business and in terms of politics. What does your gut tell you as it relates to the possibility of an event like this in the next few weeks, the next few months in which you have President Putin on one side and President Zelensky on your other side?
I think my instinct really tells me that we have a shot at it. Okay?
Really tells me that we have a shot at it.
You'll find that out later on,
and
maybe even
you'll
today,
find that
but
out later
we have a
on,
shot at it. Look,
maybe even today, but we have a
gotta be
shot at it.
solved.
Look,
you know,
we're not losing people. You know,
a lot of people say,
we're not
why are you
losing
bothering?
people.
We're not losing
why are you
people. We were
bothering?
spending
We're not
hundreds of
losing
billions
people.
of
We were
dollars. Now we're spending nothing.
Hundreds of billions of
spending
dollars.
no
Now
money.
we're spending nothing.
I guess we're making
We're spending
money
no
because,
money.
you know,
I guess we're making money because,
the best military equipment in the world. We're selling it to NATO.
Best military equipment in the world. We're selling it to NATO.
You're losing thousands of people a week.
You're losing thousands of people a week.
And Ukrainians mostly.
Russians
mostly soldiers,
and Ukrainians
but, you know,
mostly.
missiles are lobbed
Mostly
into cities
soldiers,
and
but,
towns.
you know, missiles are lobbed into cities
Lots of places
and towns.
you've been reading the
Kiev.
same stories that I've been reading.
Lots of places you've been reading the same stories that I've been reading.
We're going to get it solved.
We got to get it solved.
Committee will make their announcement as it it relates to this year's Nobel Peace Prize on October the 10th, Friday, October the 10th. Is that date circled on your calendar, Mr. President?
I can't say. I mean, a lot of people say,
I can't
no matter
say.
what I
I mean,
did,
a lot of people
because,
say,
you know,
no matter what I did,
of a
because, you know,
certain
I'm
persuasion, no matter what I do,
of
they
a
won't
certain
give it.
persuasion, no matter what I do,
and I'm
they
not
won't give it.
politicking for it. I have a lot of people
And I'm
that
not politicking for it. I have a lot of people
I read the
that
same things
are.
as you do.
I know. I mean, I read read the same things as you do.
It would be a great honor, certainly. But
it would be a great honor, certainly. But
I'm not doing it for that. I'm doing
I
it
would
because
never politic. I'm not doing it for that. I'm doing it because
number one, I want to save lives. That's why I'm
number one, I
involved
want
so
to
much
save
with
lives.
Ukraine and Russia.
That's why I'm
saving
involved
lives
so much
of
with
Russians
Ukraine and Russia.
Ukrainians.
Saving lives
it's not
of
American
Russians
lives.
and
Now,
Ukrainians.
I would say this:
it's not
that
American
war
lives.
could
Now,
have escalated.
I would say this: that war could have escalated into something much. That could have been a world war.
Ukraine, Russia would have ended up being a world war.
Ukraine, Russia would have ended up being a world war.
And I stopped that. That stopped.
And I stopped that.
Now, the only question is, when is it going to be settled?
Now, the only question is, when is it going to be settled?
But when is it going to be?
But
that would have been a world war. If I didn't come along
but that would have been a world war. If I didn't come along with the very talented
right here, but there are others not in the
sitting
room
largely right here, but there are others not in the room that are very talented.
I think Russia, Ukraine would have had a very, very
I think Russia, Ukraine would have had a very, very
I think even probably would have ended up being in a world war.
I think even probably would have ended up being in a world war.
I don't think people talk about that now because they don't see it anymore.
I don't think people talk about that now because they don't see it anymore.
We brought it down a long way. But that was getting to a point. When I first came in, I said, wow, this thing is really bad.
When I first came in, I said, wow, this thing is really bad.
It could have escalated to a level
it could have escalated to a level that
you people would have been very unhappy.
You people would have been very unhappy.
Predecessor, Mr. President, President Ronald Reagan had a phrase as it relates to dealing with the then Soviet Union, and also Mikhail Gorbachev. The phrase was trust, but verify. Do you subscribe to that same view as it relates to Mr. Putin and Russia?
Well, I do, relating to everybody. I mean, not just President Putin, but also people and leaders that...
And some of the worst deals we made. Some of the worst deals we made.
Some of the worst trade deals we have. I talk about friend and foe.
Two interesting words.
Friend and foe.
Some of our worst trade deals were not with the foe.
Some of our worst trade deals were not with the foe. They were with the friends. Our friends were just killing us on trade. Not anymore.
We're making. We're taking in trillions of dollars.
And we're respected,
and we're settling, through trade.
We're respected,
even
and we're settling,
less
through
here
trade.
Than some.
Even a little bit here,
but through trade,
less here
I got
than on some.
Things settled.
But through trade, I got things settled.
I think it was
with India,
trade
Pakistan, I think it was
that's how I got involved.
Trade more than any other reason. That's how I got involved. I said, I don't want to be dealing with countries that are trying to blow up themselves and maybe the world. They're nuclear nations. That was a big one. Getting that one settled.
That was a big one, and they were going at it. They were shooting airplanes out of the sky.
They were shooting airplanes out of the sky.
5 or 6 planes got shot down.
5 or 6 planes got shot down.
And then it was going to escalate
in their last little skirmish, and then it was going to escalate from there.
I want to save a lot of lives. I love saving lives.
I want to save a lot of lives.
And when you save lives,
you really
end up having a peaceful world.
You really end up
having a peaceful world. Usually that ends up pretty well. I want to thank everybody, but in particular these two great leaders for having the courage to do what they did today, and they're going to go down in the history books. Be involved.
And it's a great honor to be involved. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, please remain in your seats until the leaders have departed the room.
Please remain in your seats until the leaders have departed the room. Thank you.